Woke up this morning, got myself to come. Mama always told me make eye contact when I bust. Shotgun shot, I'm a shitty. Fuck, I can't remember the song. Born under a fat sign, you got meat chops in your eyes. Thinking about it. Fuck it. Shouts out to the Sapranos.
Welcome to the Riff Ranch.
Welcome to the Riff Ranch, everybody.
Episode 21 of the Riff Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Woke up this morning. Got some gotta come. Okay, I'm done.
This episode is sponsored by Capricin.
Caprese salad. When you're thirsty and you feel like a child. Caprese salad. Strawberry kiwi. Not the best flavor.
Not the best flavor. The Ocean Pacific or Pacific, that's the best one.
Yeah, that's the box that's unopened in there right now, dude.
God. I'd bust down a whole box of the fucking Pacific Ocean one.
Dude. Bro, you know, the fruit punch one is the only one that gives me heartburn.
I'm not a fan of, like, anything fruit punch, really. Like, I don't like fruit punch Gatorade. Like, Hawaiian fruit punch. That's probably the only fruit punch I really like is the Hawaiian fruit punch. You know? Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah. The blue Hawaiian punch, my boy? Yeah.
Now you're talking my language.
Yes. So, I'm going to go ahead and give you a Christmas present now. You open it on the podcast.
You want me to open it on the podcast?
Yeah.
All right. I could.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. There's so many. Bailey doesn't know how to rap.
I can't rap cylindrical objects. There's something weird about that.
There's something weird about, like... my brain doesn't work like that.
If you saw how pretty all my other boxes and shit look, and then you look at these two, you're like, what the fuck? I also have 2 mugs.
It's
and it's obviously a mug.
It's an empty bottle. I can see that much.
There's no alcohol in the bottle.
There's something in here, though. It's not empty. There's no alcohol in it, though. What is that? What is this?
Mixer. So rip it all.
Oh, you put alcohol in here, and it makes... Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, so you can put, like, you can get whatever rum you want.
What is it? Does that... Contains wheat, milk, egg, soy, nuts.
What the fuck? Does it really say all that?
It says that. I saw milk on the... I just glanced over and saw milk real quick, and I was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Anyway, so...
That's weird. There's no...
What is it?
I don't see one egg in that bitch.
Cocktail mix infused blend, strawberry daiquiri. So this would be... Oh, cool. So it's like...
There was between that one and a fucking mocha espresso one.
Oh, I fuck with my... I love me some coffee.
I was like, yeah, the coffee, but like rum coffee? Like rum.
Yeah, that's generally what I put in my rum if I drink alcohol with rum, or if alcohol with coffee. Yeah.
Damn.
That's what you want, because rum is sweet.
Damn.
Yeah. But it's okay. This looks good, too.
And it comes with like this little strainer thing. So you, as you're pouring it, you can like...
Oh, man, this is kick-ass. Did you get... It's all good. It's all good. We're going to talk about movies and characters and all sorts of shit on this episode of the Riff Ranch.
I want to get into like how characters develop throughout their series or their movies.
Yeah,
like the I don't have all these big fancy words for it, but just the way you perceive each character and me personally, I don't know about you, but I like a character to be. I want him to be so in a gray area that he's almost evil. You know what I'm saying? Like a law, not even a lawful evil, like a. I don't know. I don't want like Sauron the White, bad guy. Don't like that motherfucker. Get to like
Saruman.
Yeah, Saruman.
Yeah, I was like, Sauron is just straight evil.
Yeah. But like, or a better example would probably be like
my mom deadass told me the other day that she doesn't like listening to us talk about like movies or video games. Like she just tunes it out, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's just something you can put on as background noise.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's probably gonna tune out most of this, but she'll probably listen to like the mind meld or something that we do here in a minute. But anyway, characters in a gray area. I agree with you on that. I like characters that are And I think as I was
morally ambiguous characters.
Yeah, I like morally ambiguous characters. I think as I was younger, I like the superhero type of characters, but as I've gotten older, I think I like characters that I relate to as people more. Yeah. And it's kind of like people aren't just good and bad, and it's like, you know,
yeah,
I don't know.
I prefer so if he gets I watch more real shit. I mean, as much as I love sci-fi stuff, I've been rewatching The Sapranos.
Yeah.
Cue the whole intro about my mom making eye contact with me while I come. He says he just no. But like Tony Soprano is a huge example I like to see of that. Like he is like completely morally shot. Like, throughout the whole and like you root for him the whole time. Like I want to watch a bad guy who's obviously a piece of shit, but he's like realizing he's almost like in the show he's using therapy to learn about himself. And he's like an older Italian dude. He's in the mafia. He doesn't he doesn't believe in therapy. He thinks it's gay, like all this kind of shit. Like he's he ends up like he uses those lessons that he learns about himself in therapy to basically make him a better gangster.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched, me and Bella watched the first season of Sopranos. It was really good. That'll probably, I think after we finish watching Doctor Who, which is probably what I'm going to talk about on this episode, I think we'll probably go back to watching Sopranos. That's something I think we should finish. I've always wanted to watch Sopranos for like years now, and I've only recently got into kind of watching it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first season, I'd say the first 2 seasons probably my favorite too. I mean, the rest of them are good, but I mean, there's this weird gray area in like season 4 where Tony is just like a monster, but he's like being kind of a pussy about it.
I'm trying to think of characters I can relate to give examples like you, and for some reason the only character I can think of that's like morally corrupt, like he's a good character by the end of it, and he's like one of the good guys of his series, but like he's morally corrupt for most of the series, is Sasuke from Naruto. He's like a very, very morally corrupt character, and like is constantly doing the wrong thing because he's trying to get stronger than Naruto and shit. Yeah, it's like a whole thing.
And he's like aware that he's doing these horrible things, but he's like, oh well, it's justifiable because my father was him, my brother. Didn't his brother destroy their village or something like that?
He destroyed his clan in the village. His brother killed so like his whole clan has like the eyes that like help you see chakra and shit, and you like can and like you can partially see into the future with those, and like they do so many different things. Before
the end of the series, or whenever he gets to Boruto, doesn't he have like
the purple one? Yeah, so he actually has an upgraded version of the purple one, because you know how the Sharingan has like the little comma marks in it or whatever. So he has the Rinnegan is an upgraded version of the Sharingan, and then Sasuke has an upgraded version of that where he has the little comma marks inside of his Rinnegan, the purple one. So like he has the most powerful eye in the show, and actually that's the reason that he ends up being a good guy by the end of the series, is because him and Naruto are having their whole last fight or whatever. And they both basically realize that if they continue fighting, they're going to kill each other. They're evenly matched or whatever. And it's because the Sage of Six Paths, who's like, he's the one I was talking to you about, like his mom was like the alien or whatever that came down to the planet, and she had 2 kids with So the Sage of Six Paths is one of the 2 men strong enough to seal Kaguya away or whatever. And he's able to like, he doesn't really die. His chakra is just like still out there basically, and he can like see people in their heads because like his chakra is just like he's so strong with like chakra manipulation that like he basically
like an omnipotent being that's like tied up in all these eyes.
Almost, not really. Like he can't really do anything with his chakra, but he can still present himself to other people at this point, which is like how Naruto and Sasuke, that's how they get their final upgrade at the very, like towards the end of Naruto, is basically he gives them their powers. So Naruto gets like an upgraded version of the Nine Tails cloak, and
like the whole thing where he can like, where he's like in the full suit,
yeah.
He doesn't have to be giant, like he's like just
So that's like his final upgrade, and then Sasuke's new eye is like his final upgrade or whatever, and he's the one who gives them those like 2 last upgrades, and then they use those upgrades to fight each other like after the big war's over at the very end of the series, because Sasuke's like, yeah, no, none of this shit's gonna happen anymore. I'm gonna take over the world government basically and fuck all of you. And Naruto's like, that we just had a whole fucking war about this whole thing, and like, so then they go to
somebody threw the fucking moon at us.
Somebody threw the fucking moon at us at one point, and so then Sasuke's like, you know where to meet me, and they literally meet up in the valley where the river is, where like that's where they fought each other for the first time in the original Naruto, and now they're fighting again there in Naruto Shippuden.
I've seen that fight because he's got like the giant samurai thing.
The statue does?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're standing on top of the statues and shit. So Sasuke's like, you know where to meet me, and then they go to meet where like the statues are and shit, and Naruto's like, please, we don't have to fucking do this, and then they fucking do that. And there's actually I might cut a lot of this out because I'm like kind of just nerding out about Naruto, but I was actually telling Andrew there's this really kick-ass scene that I never understood, but I just watched a video that like slow-moed it down and broke down the entire scene. So there's this part of the fight where Sasuke and Naruto, their hands are out, and they go to make like one of the hand seals or whatever. I was like, that's weird. Like, did they both just go to make the same jutsu or whatever? And like fucking, it's like a whole thing. And in the video that I was watching a couple weeks ago that slowed it down, Andrew didn't find it that interesting, but Bella thought it was really cool, and she doesn't even fucking watch Naruto. But basically, when you watch it slowed down, what's basically happening is Sasuke hits Naruto, he grabs his hand to make the hand jutsu, so he's using some of Naruto's chakra to make his next jutsu. Shit. And then he's, as simultaneously as he's like making the hand signal, he pulls Naruto in, punches him again, uses his hand to make another hand signal, and then jumps back and does the fucking jutsu that he was trying to make. So it's like a whole fucking thing where he's like,
setting up a combo.
Yeah, he's like fucking bam, bam, like fucking yeah. It's cool as fuck when you watch. And I was like, oh my god, like. Well, the first time I watched that fight, I didn't understand what the fuck that was, but like that's so fucking cool now that I know it. And so the whole thing ends up being the whole reason the sage gave Sasuke that eye is because Sasuke can do all sorts of crazy things with that eye, and one of the things he can do is read people's minds. And what ends up happening by the end of the fight, Naruto and Sasuke blow each other's arms off. They both use their strongest fucking attack, and they blow each other's dominant hands off. For Sasuke, it's his left, and for Naruto, it's his right. And they're sitting there bleeding out on the ground, literally. And right as this happens, like Sasuke uses his eye to read Naruto's mind. And it's because he reads Naruto's mind and like understands his thoughts through the eye that he was given that he's able to understand, like, we don't need to fucking fight anymore. And like he understands Naruto as a person, and it's like a whole thing. And that's what ends the show.
This whole time, bro, it's just my guy.
It's just my guy. It's just my guy.
Are you telling me the whole time you didn't want to fight me to begin with?
And then
I'm trying to tell you that Sasuke.
See,
that's why we started this bullshit.
And then, see, that's what it is right there.
That's what it is. You
and
called
then
me gay, so I told my brother to kill everybody in my fucking village because everybody's gay.
And then Sasuke ends up getting tried as a war criminal, and it's like a whole fucking thing.
Doesn't he becomes a dude's or just like right hand man? I can't.
He's like, do you know who Jiraiya is in Naruto? Yeah. He's the one who trains Naruto. So Jiraiya is like the strongest ninja in the village at the beginning of Naruto, and he goes out and does secret missions for the Hokage. And that's basically what Sasuke becomes. He's like the most powerful ninja in the village, and he goes out. And I was actually talking to Bella about in Boruto and like why Boruto ends up getting trained by Sasuke. And basically Boruto resents his dad because he's like, my dad's the fucking Hokage, and he's too busy to see his fucking family, and he's too busy doing like that's my dad. Yeah, fuck my dad. But he thinks Sasuke is so fucking cool because he's like, this guy is just as fucking strong as my dad, and like isn't the fucking Hokage for some reason, and he's like fascinated by that whole thing. So like he has this obsession with Sasuke, and that's why he ends up getting trained by him.
Yeah, I do remember the whole thing where like he's able to do the disappearing Sharingan.
He's like
half angel technically, some shit like that.
No, he's not part angel. He's
not angel, but like there's something like
no, he does his
like, the eye of something or whatever.
No, so the reason his Sharingan vanishes has nothing to do with his genetics, really. Basically, there's different releases, like there's lightning release, fire release, like there's different elements you can add to a jutsu. The Rasengan doesn't have any element added to it. And Naruto eventually adds wind release, and that's how he makes the Rasen Shuriken, which is like the one that looks like a shuriken. And then basically what Boruto does is he adds lightning release to it, and that's how it's able to disappear. It vanishes whenever you add lightning release to it.
Dude, my glasses are fucking with me today.
And then there's like the alien bitch that I told you about before, the mom or whatever. her whole clan is called the Odatsutsuki, and Boruto ends up fighting an Odatsutsuki at one point, and he implants himself into Boruto, basically. Boruto has this little mark on his hand, and that means that an Odatsutsuki has, like, implanted themselves into you.
So he's been taken over by an alien.
It's kind of like what was going on with Naruto and the Nine Tails at the beginning of Naruto, but now he has, like, an alien chakra inside of him kind of thing. So it's making him stronger, but there's this thing inside of him that's, like, trying to take him over. Similar to, like what was...
Like a parasitic alien kind of.
Yeah, kind of. And basically, at one point in the manga, I keep up with the manga, which is, like, I think that's one of the reasons I'm such a nerd about this shit. But at one point in the manga, the alien takes over Boruto, and basically he figures out how to, like, condense a Rasengan down. It makes it more powerful and smaller, so it's harder to dodge. And he, like, condenses it down into his, like, 2 fingers and shoots it off like a fucking gun.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's a kick-ass part of the fucking manga.
Yeah.
Fucking.
So you like so I guess your favorite would probably have to be Boruto then.
What?
Like your favorite character? Well, I guess Sasuke.
Sasuke is my favorite character in Naruto. It's Sasuke. Kakashi's pretty high up there.
I really don't know much of shit about Naruto, but
that's my favorite anime, honestly. Like that really is my favorite anime. That and Cowboy Bebop is actually my favorite anime, but Naruto was my favorite for, like, the longest time. Have you ever watched Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah. Well, I watched it once. Definitely just one time. But
It's I was telling Bella about this, but I was like, it's on my list of, like, if someone asked me to recommend them, like, if they've never watched anime before and they wanted to get into it, Death Note, Cowboy Bebop. I would never recommend a long anime, like something that's like 20, 30 episodes long. That's what I would. I've never seen Crybaby. Parasite? Have you ever? Yeah. Me and Bella just watched Parasite this year, and it's only like 20-something episodes long. I thought it was longer than that for some reason. That's why I've never watched it.
Yeah, but when I watched, I thought it was going to be longer. I watched that in like 2020 or something.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones I watched that, and I was like, yo, I have to find. That's why I like this like max 3-4 season animes.
Yeah.
Because it'll just,
Tokyo Ghoul is a good one. It's a bit longer than, like, what I wouldn't say that's, like, the first thing you should watch, because Tokyo Ghoul is, like, it's 4 seasons and 10 episodes a season. And usually if I recommend, like, a first anime to somebody, I usually try to keep it around, like, 20, 30 episodes.
I like a nice just one-off season.
Yeah.
Just something that I can
fucking
I need to watch something else that's just like this.
Tokyo Ghoul is another one of my favorites, though. Attack on Titan's way too fucking long to be like that. You should start off with that. You know what I'm saying? Michael B. Jordan tweeted out and said, if you've never watched anime before, here's my top 5 recommendations. And he said Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. And I was like, that is an awful list. That's the worst. Those are the... Yeah, you name the 5 longest animes that have been going on for, like, the longest amount of time.
My buddy Joe, every time we fucking talk about shit, like, I'll be like, well, hey, man, I've been watching this. He goes, well, you know me, I'm still watching this One Piece.
This One Piece.
He's like, I'm already... They're starting... I just restarted. And I was like, dude,
they're starting over. Did you hear about this? My little brother just told me this yesterday.
Wait, what? They're starting over?
So Netflix has the rights to make shit for One Piece now. So Toei Animation is going to finish... Well, because One Piece is almost over. One Piece, the manga...
5 more arcs left in it, right?
The show has 5 more arcs. The manga's in its final arc.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the show has like 5 more arcs left, which is crazy because they actually started their final arc like a little bit after COVID. It was like 2021 when the writers started penning the final arc. So the final arc has been going on in the manga for like over 2 years now, which is fucking crazy, which means it might, whenever they start the final arc in the show, it might go on for like another 2 years still.
See, that's why I don't want to watch One Piece. Like, because I just have no interest.
It has 1,000 episodes already, and it's going to go on for like probably another 10 years, to be honest. Like, that's what's crazy. So anyway, Netflix,
don't want to put that much time.
You should give the live action version a shot, because what I heard, it's going to be like an abridged version of One Piece where it's like it's a lot shorter. They condense like the first 50 episodes of the anime into like the first 10 episodes of the Netflix live action. So I think
a little bullshit. I hate it.
Yeah,
80% these fucking animes are 80% filler, and I'm like, yo, okay.
One Piece is actually known for having the least amount of filler in any anime ever, which is even crazier that it's so fucking long and you have to watch so much of it because it's all canon. No, but so what I was saying was Netflix has the rights to make One Piece shit now, and Devin, my little brother, just said that they just announced that they're going to start doing a Netflix One Piece anime where they're going to start from the beginning. Because like it's harder for like people our age to try and get into One Piece nowadays, because if you go back and watch the older episodes, like the animation's from the fucking 90s, so nobody wants to fucking watch it. So Netflix is going to restart the anime with up-to-date animation and everything, and they're going to redo the whole fucking anime basically.
This why Netflix makes you pay $17 motherfucking dollars a month to watch this shit. It's because they spend their money on dumb shit
Like that.
Dumb shit.
Anyway,
doing a 25-year-old anime.
But anyway,
let's start with Dragon Ball. Let's just start with Dragon Ball.
I watched that.
Dragon Ball. That's what it was. Let's redo every single Dragon Ball episode. Then Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I'd watch that. I love
where Future Trunks is in there.
Future. That's Z.
Yeah, Z.
Yeah.
Fucking
GT, and you got Super, and you got what's the new one that's coming?
Super, extra super, super sized. This is fucking crazy.
Jesus.
I don't know why. Like, I just got triggered by how long anime is. It's like, just give me.
You wanna?
I just want 2 seasons of titties and fucking.
You wanna do a mind meld and then start talking about Sapranos?
Okay.
Yeah. Fucking 1, 2, 3. Caprese salad. Oh.
Okay. Caprese salad and anime titties.
Okay.
I don't know. There's no correlation.
There's no correlation. Let's start over. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Anime. What are you gonna say? Anime titties?
Hell yeah! Oh, anime titties and Capri Suns have nothing to do. Oh God! I guess I don't know.
The fruits from One Piece. What are they called? The devil fruit. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Animated. Fuck. We just said it.
All right.
I was still thinking about animated.
Anime tits and gum fruits. Things I'd like to eat. 1, 2, 3.
Things I'd like to eat. What'd you say? Pussy. Fuck.
No. Jesus Christ. We're getting worse and worse at these.
Grandma, not now. I'm shooting a thing. Thank God I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi because it would shut my thing off.
I hear that you are talking about the anime.
Anime titty.
You're talking about the anime titty.
No, my grandma's funny because anytime she would see us watching anime growing up, she's like, "Oh, you watch Goku? You have Goku on TV?" Because that's the only thing she knows. She doesn't even know it's called Dragon Ball. It's just Goku. Like,
oh, my grandson watched the Goku.
Oh, my grandson watched Goku. He watched Goku at home. Like, I'd be watching Yu-Gi-Oh growing up, and she's like, she's like, Goku.
I believe in all of the cards. That's Goku played card.
Goku played cards. So good. When does Goku throw Pokeball?
I didn't know Goku played baseball, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
1, 2, 3.
Jesus Christ. Yes! Finally! We finally got one. My Lord and Savior.
My Lord and Savior always gets me. Yo, I've been making the joke. I'm not really religious, but I keep making the joke. I'll be like, God is great, huh? Like, I'll just be like, Jesus is great. I love Jesus. Like, shit like that. And my phone has been listening to me because there's a I want to use this as a part of like the other video I want to make in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
When we start up after the new year.
Yeah.
His name's Pastor David.
I'm gonna look up some shit into that too. That's a whole thing. Yeah.
Everything. But no, like my phone had been listening to me. So it somewhere on TikTok, I've been seeing a lot of like more Christian shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's this coming from? Then this pastor follows me, and I'm like, haha, So I follow him back. Every third video, like it'll be like my fucked up For You page, and then this dude talking about dating in your mid-20s as without God in your heart and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is my phone doing? This fucking weird algorithm shit that it's evil. It's evil. This artificial intelligence.
Andrew told me something crazy like that when he had to get rid of his phone or something. Like, his phone was fucking up, and it was basically to the point where he's like, well, I need to back up the things off my phone, but I can't unless I pay money to, like, get it fixed. It's going to cost, like, $200. And then, like, the phone he has now is, like, a $40 phone from Kroger. And it's busted to hell. He told me that he can't even run YouTube on his phone if he has another app open. Like, that's how fucking busted his phone is. But anyway, his phone that was breaking before he had this one, he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, someone from the Middle East is, like, trying to hack my phone or something. I was like, what the fuck are you talking? And, like, he would only pay me rent in cash. Like, he wouldn't fucking Zelle me or Cash at me because he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's someone, like, hacking into my phone. I was like, then get a new phone. Why the fuck? Like, what the fuck is
he had it set up weird the other day, and I said, bro, that's why your phone looks like that. He was like, no, bro, I could slam it on the ground right now. It wouldn't crack. I'm sitting there looking at it. It's cracked.
It is indeed cracked.
And I'm like, it won't crack anymore because it can't crack anymore.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, do you need a new phone? I got an extra iPhone. It's a 6, but you can use that motherfucker.
I'd probably be better than a $40 phone from Kroger, to be honest. Fuck, dude.
Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3.
I was about to say Jesus Christ again. My Lord and Savior Buddha. You do have quite a bit of Buddhas.
Yeah.
Buddha's in the room.
Yeah, I sleep underneath one.
My grandma was here. Well, I guess that's about the same.
I was gonna put them up there, but it's too much shit on the top.
It's too much shit. Yeah.
At the time, this was the highest spot in my room.
My grandma has. Well, I think I told you this. I don't know if I said this on the podcast before. Whatever. I'm gonna say it again if I've already said it. But my grandma has a little shelf that she specifically puts up in the highest point of the room and puts all of her Buddhas on. Like, it's a little red shelf. It's maybe like this big. It's like a little square. And she just puts it up wherever she lives in, like, the highest point of the room and puts all her Buddhas up on that. Because apparently Buddha is always supposed to be on the highest point of the room.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, dude, Tony Soprano.
I'm not really, but go back to religious. The reason why I have all these, I used to do a lot of acid and stuff. And like,
yeah.
I just,
fuck.
You know, it's just the calmer out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
He's not even really a deity. He's more or less just
a chill dude who, like, probably who probably would have done acid with me, to be honest.
Probably. I mean, he probably was doing some, dude, smoking opium every now and again, maybe.
What do they have in China? He was fucking
opium fields.
Sure. Do they have opium fields? Well, maybe he was doing opium. Drinking rice wine. Oh, he was definitely drinking. That's a thing. Buddha has a little. He's supposed to have a gourd on him. Yeah, he has a gourd with. Well, actually, so you know what the gourd. So sometimes the gourd represents alcohol because Buddha was a chill dude. But the gourd in statues and shit is meant to represent medicine, and it's meant to, because there's different positions you'll find Buddha statues in, and the ones with the gourds are meant to represent health and prosperity kind of shit, like good health and that kind of thing. The ones that you'll see sometimes they'll be like this. They'll be holding like a gold ingot.
Is the rice ball. 2 rice balls.
No, he's those are ingots. That's what a gold ingot looks like in China.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So a gold ingot means wealth and prosperity. Like it's supposed to bring good fortune and wealth. It's like a richest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. How's that working out for you?
And then, not good. And then there's this one.
Gotta rub the Buddha belly some more.
Oh yeah. And then this guy right here is sitting on a throne of gold coin.
And he's holding gold ingots, right? Yeah.
Wealth and prosperity. And I tell you what, I'm broke as a fucking bitch. And this one right here is mad chill. He's sitting on a big bag, and he's got a thing on his back.
Yeah, I think that's the one that means it's meant to bring many treasures or something like that. I don't know.
Jesus Christ, dude. Maybe I need to
Rub that belly some more.
Clean up the altar some or something like that. Fuckers ain't fucking with me. They got the big head right.
Oh, you got the incense to burn too. Yeah. My grandma be burning the incense. Yeah. You got the big ass Buddha head. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look good.
Almost like
I remember working with Derek, and we would always go work at white people's houses that are always like namaste and have like the fucking Buddha head and have the fucking Buddha heads in their yard. I'm like, dude, you don't even fucking know. That kind of culture appropriation pisses me off.
This is racist.
This is racist.
Can you see this shit, Derek? This is racist.
He's like, yeah, Kyle, they're fucking paying you, though.
Yeah. What do you think, dude? The fucking millionaires with dreads. What the fuck do you think their backyard is?
I'd let somebody call me the N-word if he fucking paid me good enough.
Oh, yeah, you can refer to me as the N-word.
Just that. God damn.
Jesus Christ. But yeah.
That's why Jews run Hollywood, is so that nobody says nobody even knows what the slurs for Jews are anymore.
I have to tell them.
Yeah. And they're like, really? That's what that means?
Like, really? Where the fuck did you hear that? I don't know. I like watching The Sapranos, and they say it an awful lot.
They say it an awful lot. That's probably where Derek gets that from.
Yeah, dude, Italians, little known fact, Italians are one of the most racist races. And they look just, I would say, they're just as pink as me. They're a little more olive, but they're just as white as me.
I would say Italians and Asians are pretty up there as being like, just like,
right,
yeah.
Asians even hate other types of Asians.
My grandma like says so many racist things, and she's not even racist. Like, racism just isn't a thing in Asia, really. It's like, it's just like I
don't go to no salon to Vietnam. I know like Vietnam.
It's like, oh, he gay. Grandma doesn't even know what gay is. They don't even have a word for that over there. They're just like, oh, they both fuck boys. Like, I don't know. It's
like a lady boy, but just a man.
It's like a lady boy, but he just like other boys.
But he had no boobie.
But you have no boobie. Fucking crazy, dude. Anyway, you wanted to talk about character development or some shit?
So, that's really funny. Those are really weird roundabout. Like, Ellie, we go talk about Buddha. Your grandmother's. I don't
what racism is.
I don't know what racism is. You know who's really racist? Italians. So the Sopranos.
But no,
I think I'm rewatching it. I'm on episode 12, season 1.
Yeah.
But hands down, I think character development wise, at least in
season what?
Season 1.
I thought you said 12 for some reason. For a sec. Season what? Yeah. I thought you said season 12. I was like, is there 12 fucking seasons of the Sopranos?
They got 2 season 6s.
They have 2?
There's technically 7, but season 6 is split up into 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have a movie.
A
movie is like before Tony Soprano was the boss, as like him as a teenager. You get to see a couple of stories that you hear about him in the show. You get to see it happen. You get to meet his dad, and his dad is played by...
Is his dad like the boss?
Yeah, at one point his dad was I believe his dad was the boss.
Well,
maybe not, but he was in there.
He was up there?
Yeah, he was in there. Capo.
He was a capo.
Those ranks to the shit.
Yeah.
But I'd say episode 5 of season 1 is probably a good example of his character development, like his and kind of a twist up in his world where you see all of his worlds kind of clash and how he has to deal with it and how he kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of like an off day in the life of Tony.
Yes.
But so he's taking his daughter to college, and he's like, they're doing like roundabouts to go to different colleges to see the college. And while they're out, he sees this guy who's a rat.
Yeah,
who was in witness protection program or whatever. Then he left the witness protection program, so he's just like, and somewhere in New Jersey or Connecticut or something like that.
I think I remember saying this.
He sees it, and then the whole time he's having to manage being with his daughter and calling back home to get like
somebody out on
something. And nobody's like, and nobody's willing to do. So like, fucking, I'm gonna fucking do my. The fuck this shit, Christian. I'm gonna fucking do myself then. But and he's like, he's like a family man.
Yeah.
And he loves his family, but he's so devoted to being a capo, like to being, at this point, he's not necessarily the boss, but he's kind of like an acting boss.
That's what the whole first season's kind of building up to, I thought, anyway. Like, it's him kind of taking over, right? Yeah.
And it's like, it ends up being like, the whole time he's like, I don't want to be boss. And I'm like, they're like, but Tony, you literally run everything.
Yeah, Tony does everything in season 1, and it's kind of like building up to him being the guy.
And you see how like manipulative he is, really. And like, in episode 5, he ends up telling his daughter, asks him straight up if he's in the mafia. And he goes, there's no such fucking thing as the mafia.
There's no such thing as the mafia.
She's like,
Dad, you own your garbage bin. You say you're garbage bin. We have all of these uncles who we're not really related to. Like,
what about Uncle Paulie, a pussy? And
like,
I'm gonna knock on that fucking pussy. Of course we're the fucking mafia.
Of course we are.
But you get to see, like, oh god damn it, I lost my train of thought. But damn it, I lost my train of thought. Jesus Christ, backtrack a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, his daughter asked him about being in the mafia.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, fuck it. I'm doing something that requires a little bit outside gambling. I'll make a little bit of money. I'm selling it down. And she's just like, okay, cool. You're in the mob. That's what you're doing. Then later on in the episode, he kills a man. And she puts 2 and 2 together immediately. And you see where, like, he's like...
She sees him kill the man?
No, she doesn't see him kill the man. But you see him sitting, like, he, like, strangles this man with a wire. It doesn't, like, go up and shoot him on the gun. Like, he makes it personal.
Yeah.
You know? Because he's a family man. He's also in the family.
Yeah, so everything's personal with it.
Yeah, everything's just like, and then over time you get to see how he gets blatant enjoyment out of being, even when he's actively trying to be a good person.
Yeah,
you really believe he's starting to become a better person.
Yeah,
he'll immediately go and do some crazy shit, like kill his fucking cousin.
Yeah,
or strangle his gumar.
Yeah,
which for anybody who don't know, a gumar is a side bitch. You got your fucking wife over here, and you go to your gumar's house. They're gonna go suck him. All right,
all right, bit's over.
And you see, like, as time goes on, like, big thing with him. He loves
pussy. Oh,
yeah, he does love pussy too. I can't find pussy anywhere. I saw that and watched that episode last night as I'm drifting asleep, and I can't find pussy anywhere, and I just I fell asleep.
Me too.
My last conscious thought was giggling, and I woke up this morning like, woo.
Woo, me too, Tony.
But yeah, a big thing that he has to what invokes his original panic attack, which leads him to go to see Dr. Melfi, his psychiatrist.
Yeah,
is every year the ducks would come and fly, and they would have a little family by the pool and everything, and they live in the pool, and then they left and never came back, and just waited on them to come back.
Yeah, I remember seeing this. What happens with the duck?
Shit. Well, like, big thing about him, like his dreams and everything, they get analyzed by a psychiatrist, so he goes about doing what he does based off of a lot of symbolism, and ducks have a lot to do with shit up until about season 2 or 3, and then you get into there's a horse at some point that they all have money on, like they own a racehorse,
right?
They have like a piece of the horse or whatever, and something happens and the horse dies, and he goes to a capo made man, because you can't kill a capo. You have to have permission from the boss to kill a capo. You're basically protected unless the head boss tells you to kill a capo. And even though he's the head boss of New Jersey, he's not the head boss of New York. So he's just the head of the.
So he has to get permission from the head of New York to kill the capo that's in New York.
And this man Ralphie was his name. Like the picture that I took, the picture that I posted. Podcast was like, she was a whole. What happened was Ralphie knocks up this prostitute, his Kumar, and is a stripper or whatever at the Bada Bing. They're hanging out, strip club or whatever. And in order to not have the baby, he kills her. Nephi has her killed.
Right.
And Tony was like, why the fuck would you do that? Anyway, and then around the same time, the horse is killed. And
damn, they killed the horse in fire.
I know.
Damn, that's fucked.
Am I doing the thing where I fucking...
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just surprised. Like,
but no, yeah,
I'm trying to give a good reaction for the podcast.
Damn.
I will say I'll cut this out, but I will say this: you and Andrew have both done this in episodes where you're like, I'll be telling a story or something, and you'll both be like, "Yeah, Kyle, you fucking told me this story before." And the point is, I'm not fucking telling you the story. Shut the fuck up, Andrew and Bailey. I'm telling them this story. This isn't for you.
Yo, you're absolutely right. I think I've heard this before. Yeah, well, they haven't.
Yeah, it's not for you.
Let me talk.
No, and like I thought about it when we put out the last episode that Andrew was on. I thought about it because Andrew does it in both the episodes he's in, and I'm like, God damn it! Well, it's not for you, you know. Like,
yeah, dude. Andrew gets on the. He's like, this podcast is gay.
You're just telling me stories I've heard before.
You're telling me stories that I'm in. And we're like, yeah, it's for them. I never thought.
And then you tell the whole thing about the fucking on your daughter now, and he's like, yes, you both have told me this hundreds of times, and we're like, yeah, but we're telling you that we just said it on the podcast the one time, like,
cause we don't wanna make pussy now.
Cause we don't suck dick no more.
We don't suck dick more, no.
Anyway, they set the horse on fire?
Oh yeah, so Ralphie ends up making, well, it's not even really proved, but that's like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Ralphie, assuming he did it, they burned out to get the insurance money because it would have been worth more than what they put into the horse and shit like that. So, that, like, the horse, the affliction to, that's probably the wrong word, but the harm that came to the horse through actions of the mafia,
affliction, no, you're right,
break his moral implication, and like as like that's where it's like moral, like he's like, dude, you just fucking killed a fucking innocent creature. Yeah, he goes and he beats Ralphie to death with his hands, just like.
And he didn't ask Boss Man, so like,
well, yeah. So
that's the whole thing. Yeah.
But he's like, fuck, I'm the fucking boss, you know.
Yeah.
But no, he beats him, and as he's beating him, like the whole time, he's not like you murdered an innocent woman who was pregnant with your baby. It's your family. You're supposed to take care of them. Not that. That was a little bit of it, but that's not that. He's sitting there beating this man to death because he killed a horse.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that's really crazy how his morality wasn't based around like a human life, because he really doesn't value human life. He's really a sociopath.
Yeah. I think that's the whole thing in the show is they talk about that he's a sociopath, isn't it? Yeah.
And he's like, fucking all these fucking gay ways.
I on a similar note, we're talking about like character development and stuff, I guess. Me and Bella have recently started watching Doctor Who again recently, and I watched it as a kid. Me and Andrew started watching it when I was like about 12 or 13.
I still need to actually watch it. I've seen some episodes
it's
in there, but I need to actually
It's so good.
It's a little
like
campy, like sometimes.
It's so I tell Bella.
It's just weird British humor.
I tell Bella it's like PG-13 Goosebumps, like, which I think is a perfect time. Like, I started watching it when I was like 12 or 13. Perfect time to start watching Doctor Who, because like the what is it called? Like the juxtaposition, I guess, from like Goosebumps to Doctor Who. Like that's literally like Goosebumps is like PG, and then Doctor Who is like almost the same exact thing, really, but it's PG-13. And like there's a lot of good shit in there. And like I keep talking to Bella about it as we're watching the show, and I'm like, it's crazy to me, like the stories that they tell. And I know the CGI is not that good, but this is like 2005, and fucking this is a British TV show. British TV shows don't have any sort of budget whatsoever. TV shows in general in 2005 didn't have good budget, but like especially British TV shows. And the fact that Doctor Who has shit that looks better than Star Wars in 2005 is fucking crazy to me. Like, yeah, it is really crazy. And I was like,
the same vibe that Doctor Who gives me. You ever seen that movie John Dies at the End?
Yeah, I've seen. I haven't seen it in a long time. I can't remember any of it. But like
they do the Black
yeah,
stuff, and like
yeah.
And there's like this big giant squid creature. Or whatever.
Yeah,
fucking that whole movie gives me like that's all Doctor Who vibe.
Like, very much so. So much so. So the whole character development thing that I've been thinking so much of since we've been watching Doctor Who is like the 21st century. Doctor Who was canceled like in the late 80s or early 90s or something like that, and Doctor Who was gone for almost 15 years. And then in 2005, they decided they wanted to bring back Doctor Who. And it's going to be like, it's the 21st century Doctor Who. The first Doctor that we're doing is going to be like the cool, like modern day 21st century Doctor. He's going to have a leather jacket and he's going to be like fucking kick ass. And so like the big thing to make him even more like push him into the 21st century is that he almost has like PTSD because he just fought in a war with all the Time Lords, which is the species that he is. Yeah. And, like, he killed all of the Time Lords and the Daleks, which the Daleks are the main enemy of the Time Lords. Yeah. And he's like, I'm the last Time Lord. There's no Daleks left. There's nothing. And I've just fucking killed them all off. And that's how they've kind of, like, made him unique in the 21st century, I guess. And there's this huge mystery of, like, how did he kill them all off? Why did he kill, like, why did it come to this? And, like, the whole series in the 21st century, I don't even think it's been, like, entirely answered to this day. But, like, it's something that's definitely been built up to. And they answer most of it with Matt Smith's Doctor, the one with, like, the square jawline and shit. They answer a lot of, like, because we actually get to see a lot of the war with the Time Lords and shit during his time that Matt Smith was the Doctor. But right now, so me and Bella are watching it, and there's, like, this whole mystery behind it, and just, like, we're at 46. No, you're good.
I don't want to break your flow. I apologize.
Fucking, so, like, the Doctor now is like a big thing with Doctor Who. When David Tennant first becomes Doctor, there's literally a thing where, like, I can't remember the exact situation that's going on, but basically he lets the alien go. The alien's about to destroy Earth, he lets the alien go, and then the alien picks up its sword that it was about to kill the Doctor with in the first place, and, like, as soon as the Doctor turns his back, he picks up his sword again, and he runs at the Doctor, and then the Doctor sets off a fucking explosion, and he's like, I don't give second chances. And, like, that's supposed to be the big thing with David Tennant once, like, because for each Doctor, once he regenerates and becomes a new person, he's trying to figure out who he is as a person again. Yeah. And so David Tennant's Doctor is trying to figure out who he is, and he blows that up, and he realizes in that moment, he's like, I'm not a person that gives second chances. Like, and that's like, that's a running theme throughout David Tennant's whole run, so, like, is that he's like...
so you telling me he has, like, amnesia the whole time? So he has to, like...
So
himself again?
No, he doesn't have amnesia. He has all the memories of the previous person. So, but a big thing is, you don't realize until Matt Smith's Doctor that he does have amnesia. He doesn't remember how the Time War ended. And he never brings this up because of the big thing about the 21st century Doctor Who is that he doesn't like to talk about the Time Wars. He doesn't like to think about what happened or whatever. And once you finally get to the point in the show where you kind of are seeing what was going on in the Time War, and it's showing all these different flashbacks of, like, all these different things that had happened, you kind of realize by the end of it, the Doctor loses his memory. And this is like a big spoiler for the whole thing, but the Day of the Doctor, it's this huge event. And basically what ends up happening is they have footage from every single Doctor, and, like, it shows them in their TARDIS. And the reason they show all the footage from every single Doctor is because they're all there at the Time War. Every single version of the Doctor meets up on his homeworld at the same time. And basically they're like, it's going to take this many versions of the Doctor in order to do what we're trying to do. But basically they suspend his planet in time. So no one throughout all of time can find his planet, which is why the Doctor, once he gets the amnesia, thinks that his planet is destroyed because it's no longer there. It's wiped off the face of time, basically. And there's a whole purpose to it. And basically what you find out, this all happens in the Day of the Doctor special, where you see all the different versions of Doctor Who and shit. And it even shows, what's his name? Peter Capaldi, which is the old man who plays Doctor Who after Matt Smith. It shows him, like, and he's not even the Doctor yet, but he shows up for this event. So, like, they had already planned on using that actor as, like, the Doctor in the future. And, like, so there's, like, 13 different versions of the Doctor here. And, and David Tennant's there, and, like, the fucking, I don't know, it's this whole crazy thing. And basically, so they suspend the planet in time, and this whole time, the Doctor thinks that he's destroyed the planet, and it's through this event, like, him finally getting to a point where he's living in this event, where he's like, oh, fucking, the planet wasn't destroyed, it's out there somewhere. And, like, the whole mystery behind the 21st century Doctor Who now is, like, where is the planet now and like how does he get to it. And the whole reason that he suspended the planet in time was because they were going to lose the war and nobody could figure out a way to win. And the Doctor decided that if he gets all of himself together and suspends the planet, then he can figure out what to do in the city. Like, it'll give him enough time to figure out. So now he's had hundreds of years since the Time Wars happened, and he can figure out a way to fucking win the war. And like, that's the big mystery. Or at least when I stopped watching, I don't know if this has been answered already because I stopped watching Doctor Who like 6 or 7 years ago. But when I stopped watching, that was the big mystery. Is like, where's the planet at, and where is he going to find it, kind of thing.
There's like a woman, Doctor Who now.
Yeah, there's
Doctor Who because he doesn't know who he is. Doctor Who.
No, Doctor Who, because so I told Bella this bit because there's a lot of bits that they reuse in Doctor Who, and I told Bella what I've realized from rewatching Doctor Who recently is there's different writers on every episode of Doctor Who. So I think the reason we constantly hear the same bits over and over and over again is because it's like every writer wants their chance at like an ongoing bit in Doctor Who is like everyone gets inside the TARDIS and they're like, oh my God, it's bigger on the inside. And like that, because like the whole time machine is, yeah. And like, I was like, every single writer who writes for Doctor Who wants to get their it's bigger on the inside joke in. So like, that's why you hear it so much in the fucking show is because so many different writers. And yeah, that's another joke is like, he tells people, oh, I'm the Doctor. And they're like, Doctor Who? And he's like, just the Doctor. And like, the reason you hear that joke so much is because every writer wants to try and get that joke in too. And it's like, you hear so many of the same jokes over and over again every episode because there's so many people writing this shit.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who?
I always wondered why it was Doctor Who, but now when like Doctor Who? No, just the Doctor.
Just the Doctor, yeah. It's a constantly going joke. Me and Bella just started a new season this morning, and we've probably heard it like at least 3 times already.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he says it so much, and then like
watch that show. I've always wanted to. I just never really.
I think you'd like it. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Oh yeah, it has.
And like it's a whole thing. David Tennant's too. So he's my favorite version of the Doctor. That's why I'm so happy that me and Bella.
From fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah, the one from Harry Potter, and he's in Good Omens and all that shit. Yeah, David Tennant is my favorite version of the Doctor. Andrews is Matt Smith, I believe, the one with the square jaw. He's cool too. He's fucking Matt Smith is the youngest version of the Doctor, and he's definitely like a young, like kiddish version of the Doctor.
And the Doctor isn't even necessarily a human either.
No, he's a Time Lord. That's the name of his species.
Yeah, but like
So like, and like he always takes a different body, so like he's never like he doesn't really have
he's
a form, right?
he says in one episode, like at the very beginning when me and Bella first started watching, he says that it's possible that he could not look human. Like when he regenerates, there's always a possibility that he can look like anything. He could end up with 2 heads. He could end up with like whatever. But like it's just like coincidence.
He said, "Hey, look, I'm not gonna look like
just a regular white man. Someday, yeah, I could be a woman.
Yeah.
Or I could be a black gay man.
A black gay man.
I could be an alien.
Or I could. You never know. And then a thing with Bella.
Boom, that's what it's gonna be.
A thing with Bella.
Alien.
A thing that Bella's like been trying to get understand is she's like, why? How come all of his first companions? So like the first companion in the 21st century Doctor Who is Rose, and she's one of my favorite companions. She's pretty high up there.
Is it like one per season or is it one per episode?
So, an actor plays Doctor Who on average for about 3 seasons, and a companion follows Doctor Who for roughly 2 seasons. But when the 21st century Doctor Who started, the guy that was playing him wasn't David Tennant. And they were trying to get the audiences used to everything that you can expect to happen in Doctor Who. Like, they're going to show you the sonic screwdriver, the TARDIS, it's bigger on the inside. He has a psychic piece of paper that can be, like, any ID pass or anything he wants to show on that paper, it'll show up. And, like, you have to have some kind of psychic training in order to perceive it as just a piece of paper, basically. It's, like, a really crazy part of the show. But, like, the first season of the 21st century Doctor Who was kind of trying to get audiences used to and, like, let them know what to expect from Doctor Who kind of thing. So that season ends with him regenerating. They're like, well, you know, this actor's only going to play him for a season because we need everyone to understand what Doctor Who's all about. And that's a big part of Doctor Who is him regenerating. So then David Tennant becomes Doctor Who, and he plays him for 3 seasons or whatever. But like Rose is his companion for the first season and the first season of David Tennant's run. And then David Tennant ends up getting a different companion every season. That's like a big part of his too. Is like David Tennant spends the most time, like more than any other Doctor, just being alone. Because like when he's between companions, like his companions run off and do something else, the Doctor's just alone for so long. And I think that might have something to do with why David Tennant is my favorite. He's like the brooding, sad Doctor. Like David Tennant's always sad. He's always alone, and he's trying to find a new companion, and it's like a whole thing with him.
I need someone to fuck.
I need somebody to fuck. And
someone to wash me fuck in the
Martha.
The telephone.
Martha, the companion that she's the companion after Rose in the show. She's the companion that me and Bella just got through when we finished the last season. Martha spends the whole season in love with the Doctor, like, which is it's a common thing with his companions, is that they like fall for this man because he's so charismatic and he's so like,
I'm basically a gold.
Yeah, he's so
me cork.
He's so intelligent and so charismatic, but the Doctor doesn't fall for his companions usually. He does kind of fall for Rose before that, but then like it's a whole thing, and I'm kind of spoiling it. But Rose ends up in a parallel universe where he can't get to her anymore. So like, yeah, that's how.
The worst she can say is no.
No. The best she can do is say no now. But
I hear her say it.
But then Martha, she ends up falling in love with the Doctor, and the Doctor just lost Rose. He's like, my companion is now in a parallel universe, and Martha's like, why won't you love me? And he's like, I'm still hung up on Rose. Like, it's a whole thing. And like Martha, by the end of the season, she actually has like a good character arc, because she like realizes the Doctor's never gonna fucking love me, no matter how much I love him. He's still too hung up on Rose and everything, and I just need to go off and be my own person. And she ends up becoming a doctor, and it's like a whole thing for her character. And then he ends up going to find Donna, who's like most people's favorite companion that travels with David Tennant's Doctor is Donna. And she's like this older lady, and she's like very intelligent, and she's just like charismatic. And like her whole thing is she's like, I'm not doing this to fuck you. I don't want to go off. Like basically she tells the Doctor, no, I don't want to go with you the first time she meets him. Cause like, she's like, I'm not in love with, like, I don't like you like that. I don't want to fucking be with you. And he's like, no, I mean, be with me. Like, I just need a mate. And she's like, you want to mate? And he's like, no, I need a mate. And she's like, I am not going to fuck you. She's like hiding behind a door and everything. She's like, I'm not going to fuck you. It's like, that's an actual conversation they have. Like,
I need a mate.
I'm not going to mate with you. No, I need a.
Playing for friend. You can't. You're in the fucking telephone booth.
You get in the telephone booth. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And so I think a lot of people like Donna because she's not trying to be romantically involved with the Doctor. But yeah, fucking.
Episode is when the Doctor goes back and fucks Van Gogh.
Oh, and fucks it. They fuck him in the ear. Yeah, that's what it is. So my favorite. Oh my god, I'm gonna be spoiling so much here. But my favorite storyline in Doctor Who, my favorite companion is Amy Pond. It's the redheaded bitch that he has as a companion. Right after David Tennant, like David Tennant's no longer the Doctor, now it's Matt Smith, and he meets this little girl, Amy Pond, and
Oh, I thought you said beats. I was like,
no, he meets this little girl, and she's so fascinated by him because he's this weird eccentric genius who's like fucking. He just regenerated, and he's like, why are my taste buds different? And he's eating all these different foods in her house, and she's like so fascinated. Like she's like 8 years old, and there's this guy roaming through her fridge, basically, like eating all her shit. And she's so fascinated. She thinks that he's like an imaginary friend. And he's like, don't worry, I'll come back for you. I need to go do this thing real quick. He hops in the TARDIS, and he comes back at the wrong date. And now she's like 20-something years old, and she's like, you left me behind for almost 20 years.
Oh,
like
my friend told me about that.
Yeah, like that's a whole thing with the Doctor. And she's like, people thought I was fucking crazy because I told them that a man ran into my house and fucking ate all my food as when I was a little girl. And they thought I was like, it's a whole thing with her characters. Like everybody thought she was crazy for the longest time because she saw this man, and it's like a whole thing. But anyway, my favorite storyline is the wife of the Doctor. So it's this woman that he meets when he's still David Tennant. So before any of that shit with Amy ever happens, he meets this woman, And she's like, I'm your wife. And she's like, this is the youngest I've ever seen you, because this is the first time that he's met her. And the whole storyline with the wife of the doctor is they're always meeting each other in reverse order. So she's getting younger as he meets her throughout the show. But as she meets him in her timeline, she's meeting him backwards and he's getting younger and younger. So she's like, you don't even like she starts naming off events of places that they've met. And he's like, I have no idea who you are. And she's like, oh my God. And she realizes that she's going to die, basically, because this is the youngest that she's ever met him. Yeah. And it ends up being a whole thing. And the whole episode, he spends most of the episode, like, not believing that she is who she says she is. And towards the end of the episode, she basically leans into his ear and whispers something. And you find it's not even until, like, a couple seasons later you realize what she whispered. But she whispers his name, which is, like, a thing. I actually told Bella this the other night when we were watching Doctor Who, because somebody mentions the doctor's name. And she's like, what is the doctor's name? And I was like, there's only one person in the whole universe that knows the doctor's name. And she's like, is it like one of his family members or something? And I was like, well, no, all of his family and like friends and everybody from his planet are gone. There's only one living person that knows his name, and it's his wife. But like, that's a whole storyline later. And you end up finding out, like, Amy Pond, the redheaded little girl that he met, she ends up giving birth on the TARDIS later on in the whole storyline. And the girl who's born on the TARDIS is his wife. She starts aging rapidly, and like, she's basically a Time Lord because she was born on the TARDIS, and she has like the magic of like time shit. So she lives hundreds of years, which is why he meets her out of order, because like, he's not meeting this little girl. Basically, he's like, he sees her at like different points in her timeline, and it's like a whole thing. So like,
crazy.
Yeah, it's like a whole, that's the whole story.
The girl you abandoned is now grown and gives
birth to your wife on my spaceship.
Yeah. And that's why that's one of my favorite storylines of Doctor Who, is like, you meet the doctor's wife, and then like eventually the universe is like falling apart, and it's like this whole thing, and they have to perform this ritual, and like these aliens are about to kill the doctor, and basically he's forced into marrying her, but like, he's kind of already loves her at this point. It's like a whole thing. And basically they're like, you need some kind of cotton that like binds you together or whatever, and you need to tie your hands together. And he takes off his fucking bow tie, and he uses his bow tie. And then they're like, you're supposed to like part information to it's like this whole alien ritual on how they get married or whatever, and they're supposed to part information to each other. And he's like, I'm gonna tell you my name. And like, he tells her his name when they get married, and it's like a whole thing in order for them to save the universe and everything. But yeah, that's like my favorite storyline in Doctor Who. I can't wait till me and Bella get to that point.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's sick. I'm gonna start watching it just because of that.
Yeah.
That's just sick.
That's like, see, it's hard to not spoil it, because like, that's my favorite thing to try and tell people to get into Doctor Who, because that storyline is so fucking sick. But like, it spoils so much of Doctor Who if you tell them all that.
I feel like you get, like, you know, he wakes
It's also, what is her name? Her name is River Song, and what is it? So Amy, the little redhead bitch that he meets, is Amy Pond, and his wife's name is River Song. And basically, the way that he figures out that his wife is the same as Amy's daughter is like, there's this whole storyline, and she's like, didn't you ever wonder where my name came from, and this whole thing? And her daughter's name is Melody. So it's Melody Pond, and that's where she gets River Song from. Melody Pond, River Song. Yeah, it's like, that's the whole thing, is like, the doctor realizes that the little girl that Amy gives birth to is eventually his wife, because they have the same name, and it's like a whole thing. Yeah.
I want to fuck that child.
I'm gonna fuck that child.
I can't wait till you're old enough.
We're gonna mate. No, I don't think they do. Oh, and it's also a whole thing. I brought this up to Bella because in the earlier seasons of Doctor Who, they bring up Cleopatra, and you find out later, like, it's like when David Tennant, when he first becomes the Doctor in like season 2, David Tennant says something about how he knows Cleopatra very well. You find out later on in Doctor Who's timeline that River Song is Cleopatra in the timeline. Like, she became Cleopatra. It's like a whole fucking thing.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Well,
Doctor Who's fucking crazy. Yeah, anyway, that was like, I don't know. I was trying to talk about like different characters and character development, and I kind of just talked about a whole bunch of storylines from Doctor Who. Yeah, Doctor Who's...
That's sick. I'm going to start watching that.
Yeah. And so what we're building up to right now, I'm really excited for, because David Tennant, most of the doctors do this. Anytime there's an actor that plays the doctor, their like series finale, like their last couple of episodes that they're ever going to play as the doctor, it usually ties in everything from every episode that they've ever been in. So like me and Bella are in the last season of David Tennant's Doctor, and I was telling Bella, I was like, yeah, so like this whole thing about Martha and Torchwood, which is like this organization that's kind of hunting the Doctor, and I was like telling her all these different things that we've watched from like every episode that he's been in so far. I was like, all of this is kind of building up to the final episode. Oh my God. And there's literally, I was thinking about the end of David Tennant as Doctor Who, and like there's this scene where Donna, the older bitch that I was telling you about that goes to travel with the Doctor or whatever, Donna decides, she's like, okay, I will go find, after he realizes that he's not trying to mate with her, she's like, okay, I will go travel with the Doctor. And she calls her mom and she's like, hey, I know I have the car. I'm going to put them in this bin over here in the street. Come get them. I'll let you know where they are. And she walks up to this lady who's like, there's this whole alien invasion thing, and like there's this whole crowd of people watching it go down. She walks up to this blonde lady and she's like, hey, if if this lady named so and so comes by and asks you where the keys are, will you just tell, or she doesn't even say that, she's like, if a lady comes up to you and asks you about me, will you just tell her in that bin? She'll know what you mean. And she runs off to go travel with the Doctor, and the blonde lady she was talking to turns around, and it's Rose, his original companion that got left in another universe. And that's like a whole thing that's setting up the end of the final season and everything. And I dead ass, I started like, I got like, my eyes got a little watery when I was watching that. And I told Bella, I was like, when Rose showed up on screen just now, my eyes got a little watery because I was thinking about like David Tennant and his whole end. Like his whole end as Doctor Who is so fucking good. Like it's fucking insane. And he's just so like, I don't know, emotional and like brooding and sad. And it's like, I love it. I love fucking broken characters.
Yeah, dude, makes me feel like myself.
Fucking
Just like him, but really.
I'm just like, he just like me for real.
Just like me for real, bro. That bitch came back.
That bitch came back from. But anyway, we're almost an hour and 10 into it. You want to close it out?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry I talked for so much of it.
You're good, man.
I
Fuck.
had this weird pain in the back of my, like, every.
Now and again,
Like behind your eye?
like my sinus will get like.
Oh, you might have what I had.
And then,
I look at like real tight. I look go away, and then right behind my
Yeah.
eye,
it'll just, like that's right.
That's-
For a second, my eyes were getting teary.
I had to go home from work last week because like behind my, like that's what happened with my sinuses and everything, and then behind my eye and like the whole top of my head right here was hurting so bad. My little brother was like, are you good? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, why? He's like, your eye's not even open, Kyle. Like that, it was just so bright, and like my head was hurting so bad I couldn't open my eye.
Yeah, I got this
And then-
cool
spray stuff that I give myself every once in a while, but I don't know. Sometimes I get worried about all the shit that
that I put up my nose maybe one day.
I think-
to my
I think about that. I thought,
3 people, and all 3 of these people used to snort meth. And
I
now they
thought-
both, like, have a fucking,
well, you remember
died of an aneurysm.
that had started as a headache behind the eye.
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I hope
used to
that's
snort
not,
meth, too, so it's like,
you remember like 2 weeks ago, I was telling you, I think I have a sinus infection from cocaine that I did earlier this year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it is that now because my little brother ended up catching the same thing as I got, and he said his head was hurting and his sinuses were fucked up. So I think I just caught something, but it's fucked.
Oh, dude, worst case scenario.
The worst case scenario, if anybody hears this, I'm gonna be cremated. Don't piss in my urn.
Don't piss in my urn.
Don't piss in my urn.
I'm
My
gonna-
funeral won't be sad. It's
I'm
be
gonna do a
funeral
line
as
of your
well.
ashes.
Oh, don't do that.
You'll die.
Fuck. Well, anyway,
Oh,
thank you
well, anyway,
so
guys,
much for coming on the Riff Rant
thank
and
you for
listening
listening.
to us talk about being mafiosos and ninja warriors and Doctor Who's.
And Dr. Who's, yeah, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. All of our links are going to be in the description below. I think I'm going to start putting our links for our personal Instagrams in the description so we don't have to shout it out every single time. But as of right now, you can find me at Kyle A. Keeler on Instagram.
You can find me as Bailey Walker Comedy all over, everywhere, anywhere you can find it. Type it on everything, you'll find it.
All right, bye, guys. We love you.
We love you and we need you.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Dad.